Blessings, beautiful crew, and welcome to this week's offering. Monty just making an appearance and giving me a kiss. It's a way to start class, isn't it? So, welcome to this week, and we're just starting with that usual centering on what do you need, what does your body need, and kind of this idea of the interplay between gentleness and strength, which is a whole lot about yoga itself. And when we come at it from, we can come at it from quite a mind control perspective, right? So some of the heart of yoga is quite severe. Or we can come at it from a more how we live our lives now perspective. And that how we live our lives now perspective is that our lives are just going at this pace that our body and our nervous system just kind of don't necessarily marry up with. And so yoga is about kind of bringing us back to some kind of center, some kind of gentleness, some kind of awareness, some kind of honoring of maybe a different way of being for 20 minutes, an hour, however long we can, that we hope spills over into the rest of our lives, right? But doesn't always. Sometimes this is the only time you get. And so celebrate that and kind of be aware of that on the mat. If you feel yourself pushing up against something, kind of ease back a little bit. What do I need from that? Why am I pushing? And I think, sometimes when I say that, I think of our hamstring crew, right? So this is our crew that I will often identify. I was one of them where, the hamstrings are a real challenge. And are they just my hamstrings and they're tight and I'm going to release some tension out of them? Two different ways of seeing that, eh? Same hamstrings, same level of ability or inability to stretch them, but a different way of seeing what inability might be. It's like, well, I can. I move in a way that honours my body in that. So kind of shifting some of those things that we might kind of knock up against, that are ways of thinking outside the yoga mat that we don't really need to bring onto our mat. So on that note, let's find our centre point. Sit comfortably, however you sit. Might be legs out in front, might be open cross-legged. I'm going to breathe and bring our focus just into the breath. You can soften your gaze, you can close your eyes. I'm going to lift up along our spine so that we're opening up where our diaphragm sits. We're going to breathe out, so there's some room to breathe in. And as we do that, we're going to think of breathing in, gathering energy. Breathing out, letting go maybe of mental tension, or at least letting it drift off to one side for a little while. Think about the place where you are, the land underneath you, your connection to that land, the stories of that land, the ancestors of that land. Then if you've had your eyes closed, blink them open. We're going to inhale, bring our arms up. Touch our fingertips, and then exhale, bring our fingertips down to the ground. Just touch them down. Inhale, come up. Exhale, bring those arms down. Inhale, come up. Find the rhythm of your breath for a couple more. Feeling the air with our fingertips. Feeling the touch down with our fingertips. Feeling it again, fingertips when we touch them. Last one, we're going to come up. Right hand's going to come down. Left arm reaching, opening up into that rib space, the sides of the body. We can turn and look under that arm. We're going to inhale up and exhale the other way, the slow. Coming up. Take that right hand around behind you and into a twist. Left hand goes over to that right knee. Inhaling up, bring those arms up, beautiful big arc over to the other side. Coming up, bring those arms up, bring those palms together, come down through that center line, around the hips. So if you've got your legs out in front, it's a forward fold. If you're in an open cross-legged, it's into the hip of that leg that's in front. Roll the shoulders down, drawing along the spine. So notice I talk about that a lot, that kind of lengthening out along the spine. We have a tendency to curl over. This makes us feel like we're getting deeper into the pose. But all we're doing is cutting our breath off and arching our spine, and actually there's this beautiful lengthening that can happen. We keep that spine relatively straight. And whichever leg is in front, that's the side that we're turning around to. And just coming down that knee. Now if there's not much room, okay, so if our belly and our boobs are starting to kind of hit our leg, we can open this leg up, okay, so we've got some room. So just kind of find out which one is going to feel nicer for your body. And again, if you're sitting with your legs out in front, same. Just feel that sense of stretch into your body, that breath. Bring it back to center and change the legs around if you're open cross-legged. Okay, so and just notice that difference. Sometimes when we first start doing that, it can feel quite awkward, but see how it feels. We're going to inhale, come up. Then we're going to take right hand back behind us, and we're going to come up through the front of the body. So our fingers are pointing away on that right hand, and we're lifting up, stretching into that wrist, up into the chest. Nice deep, deep breath. Coming up and out, bring that right arm up. Take that left arm back, set yourself up, lifting long up through the upper body, through the chest. Little sparrows that are nesting in the gutter of the house next door. And they're just tutuing along today. Some of you will hear them singing in the background every now and then, or twittering in the background. So that time of year, as we come back through that center point, notice what's happening in the arms. We're going to take them out nice and wide. We're going to bring the right arm underneath the left. Cross at the elbows, start with a bit of a hug. That might be enough. We're stacking these elbows up. If you can get your right fingers to your left palm, then do that. Thumbs are towards your nose. Elbows come forward, arms lift up, chin tucks down. And our arms come out wide. And our left goes underneath and our right goes on top. Hug first. Then, if we can, left fingers, right palm. Same thing, elbows forward, arms lifting, chin tucks right down. Arms come down and we're coming forward, around whichever leg is in front now is where we start to feel it. We're coming straight forward first, that lengthening along the spine. And then wandering around to that knee of the leg that's in front. If you're in an open cross-legged, remember we can shift that other leg out of the way if we need some more room. Coming up, back to center. Inhale, bring these arms up. Bring them down through that center line. Bring the soles of the feet together. And let's take hold of our feet again. And bring our feet in nice and close. And lift up along that spine. This might be plenty. Or if you're able to roll around the hips, do that. Just gently. Again, long spine, long breath. And then let's come around to all fours. This might be the moment where those of us wearing socks, unless you've got those little guppy socks, need to take our socks off. And from all fours, we're going to circle into these hips and shoulders. So we're coming around slow. Noticing. So we're drawing back, we're letting ourselves kind of lengthen out, especially when we pull back. Notice that in the shoulders, in the arms, maybe in the hips a little bit, especially those where that pullback can be quite hard. Change direction, go round the other way. And we're just noticing these last couple. And then maybe some warmth in the body. Or maybe the mind's wandering off because we're just going around in circles. Bring it back gently. We're going to stretch it back. We're going to bring the big toes towards each other. Pull back, butt towards the heels. And then walk these arms forward so our forearms stay off the floor if we can. Really lengthening out, quite strong along the spine. Tuck the chin in, bring the head down if that feels alright. walking the hands in and kind of coming in enough that if it's okay to sit back on your heels, do that. We can also sit back around into open cross-legged or with our legs out wide. This one. We want to bring the belly forward. We're untucking our tailbone and we're lifting the chest and we're looking up. So think cobra but supported, so we're not kind of tensioning up into that lower back quite so much. Then with that same kind of lift still there, just moving the head, we're going to take our chin in and down towards the base of our throat. The aim is to feel that all the way down to the pelvis, eventually, that chin tuck. Coming forward again, just slow with that chin and then up. Open the eyes as wide as you can. And then chin comes down slowly, tucks in. And we're going to wander our way forward, back onto all fours. And we're going to take our right foot and step it up into that low lunge. So just that reminder to where your foot lands is all about the comfort for, especially with this one, being able to make sure we've got enough room for our body. So if you're used to stepping to the center line but suddenly you're not quite sure where to put everything, step off that center line. Kind of give yourself that space. We're going to come forward through the hips as much as feels all right. And then we're leaning into this left hand. And we're taking this right hand up. And we're going to head backwards with it towards the back of the mat and then up. And let's do some circles round. So we're turning, we're twisting on the mat, just slow. If you want to put the breath in, inhale as the arm comes up, exhale as it starts to come over the front of the mat. Up into a hold, slow, taking the gaze up to the thumb, bringing that left hip down as we do that, and this right shoulder opens, so we're getting some movement into the body, crew. Right arm, right hand comes down. Pull back into our half split, ball of the foot and toes lift. Wander the arms forward, pull the hips back at the same time. Just find that enough point for your leg. Bringing that forward and then wriggling it out. And all fours. Little bit of a just check in. How's everything feel? We're going straight to that left side, so our left foot steps up again, finding that right distance for your body. Bring the hips forward. Take a breath there. Set it up. Don't transfer the rush of your everyday life onto your yoga mat. Right hand anchors down, loosen up this left hand. We're going to find our breath, inhaling, taking the arm back towards the back of the mat. Exhaling as it comes over the front of the mat. Nice big circle. Next one, we're coming up into that hold. Again, find that enough, drop that right hip a little bit, open up through that left shoulder. Top arm sweeps down slowly, wriggling it out. Actually no, let's go back into frog pose team, because we want to just feel what's happened in our shoulders. So pull back slow, reach those arms forward, hopefully our arms feel longer. If they need more of a rest, bring them down onto the mat, bring everything down, tuck the chin in, or turn the head to the side, or stack the forearms and rest there. Then we're walking our hands in. And we're coming back into that alternative to our cobra. Shoulders drop down. Bring the chest up, looking up. Breathe. You've got quite a bit of control about how much arch there is in your spine. You can untuck that tailbone. You can really pull forward and lift. Just feel what feels good for you. Then curling it the other way. This time it's like we're doing a cat cow. The cat arching her spine. And then we're going to wander forward, and you can either come into a restful frog pose or walk into the first down dog of this offering. And bring it forward, bring the knees down. We can take that left foot forward again into the low lunge. You're going to pull back into a half split. Ha! Forgot. Like, why does that leg feel funny? Because we didn't do this one on this side. So, easing back into that half split team. And while that foot's in front, let's come forward. Let's turn into the wide-legged standing. So kind of tuck those back toes under, wander it round. And we're starting up high, so this is where blocks can come in handy too, especially our hamstring crew. When our spine parallel with the floor and lifting up through the hips, really stretch it out. Unlock the knees so that we're lifting our kneecaps, not locking them. And then if you can, roll around the hips into a forward fold, or stay with that spine parallel with the floor. Hello, Mr. Monty. You've been sunning yourself. Yeah.
So we're going to come slowly round to that front foot, turning onto the ball of that back foot, high lunge. And so we're in that high lunge, we're making sure that we've got that room. So again, we might need to shift that left foot out to the side a little bit. We're going to plant our right hand, again with enough room for the body to come into a turn. We're slowly going to take that left arm and reach it up. Now we can bring that back knee down if it feels a bit too strong doing this. In a lunge, we're on the ball of that back foot, otherwise we're breathing. Left arm comes down, back knee comes down if it's not already there. I'm going to come down slow, one elbow or two, just into that hip space. Wandering up slow, wriggling out that left foot, stepping that right foot up, and coming into that high lunge, just slow, just ease your way into it. If you had your knee down for the last one, then by all means bring that back knee down if you need to. Left hand is our anchor. Right arm goes back behind us and then up, and we turn with it in that long deep breath. Right arm comes around slow, back knee comes down, one elbow or two come down, sink into that. Wandering up, wriggle out that right foot, and we're going to just, again, move a little bit, check that everything's feeling alright. Then we're wandering into either a frog or a down dog. If you're coming into down dog, that real deep lift up of the hips. So we've always got that lift, that lengthening along the spine, then let the heels release, just breathe into it. And then we're going to come forward, we're going to bring our knees down. And if we can, we're sitting back onto our feet. Again, if we need to bring cushions under that space between our thighs and our calf muscles, do that. Just sit for a moment, hands on knees, shoulders drop down. And to find the line from the crown of the head down to the base, we can soften our gaze, we can close our eyes. Work our way into the breath along that line. So feeling the breath. If we can breathe through your nose, feeling that breath coming up into the sinuses. And then down the throat through the lungs. Feeling the diaphragm move, that
pressure change in the belly that we can feel all the way along our spine, all the way down to our tailbone. And then that releasing all the other way. If it feels uncomfortable, then especially with the working with the breath, it makes you feel all anxious, just come to normal breath, just relax into the breath. Then we're going to move our hands. We're going to take our toes under into that nasty foot stretch. Sit back on our heels. What you doing, Mr. Munty? The sun is out today, team, as you can probably tell. And you've been sunbathing. He's like, oh, real? Hey, have you been sunbathing? From there, we are going to bring our knees out. We're going to come up to standing. So variations on coming up to standing. You might be able to rock into our cowherd pose or not, as the case may be. If you can do cowherd pose, which is this one, do just to get that lovely squeeze of our calves, but also our stretch into our feet and strengthening into our feet as well. We're going to come up slowly, find your way to standing. Make sure there's enough space between your feet to be comfortable. Then come up onto the ball of the foot, especially if you haven't been able to do those last couple. Just kind of moving around on our feet, on the ball of our feet. Giving it that massage, but also that little bit of strengthening. And then down, lift the toes up, give them a scrunch. And then spread the toes out and find our way into our feet. From here, we're going to inhale, we're going to bring our arms up. And then we're going to reach around behind us and link our fingers. Shoulder blades gentle squeeze together, tuck the chin down towards the base of the throat. Work those shoulder blades down, those arms down the spine. And release the arms back up. Bring the hands down through to the heart space, into the half chair. So the arms at the moment, tailbone goes back. It's kind of feeling into the strength in those legs. Then we're going to fold around, belly to thighs, hands come down, hips start to lift, forward fold, let the head drop. We're sinking back into that half chair pose. Bring the hands up to the heart, the head higher than the heart. Lifting it up. Reaching it up, opening up, reaching around, linking our fingers again. And work those shoulder blades down, take the feet a little bit wider. Out towards the edge of the mat. We're going to come around slowly. And as we do, we're going to lift those arms up towards the roof. Let the head really drop. Bend into the knees a little bit, especially if you're a bit tight.
Let the arms go, bring them down. Forearms onto thighs, tailbone goes back, so we're a little bit wider now, team. So there's lots of making sure our knees are okay. We can take the weight off those legs if you want to make it a little bit stronger. Just breathe into the air. Tailbone untucking is that we're pushing our butt backwards. We're not trying to pull our hips under us. Really important. Coming up slow. And we're reaching up into that space. We're going to link our fingers this time. Like we're taking off. Big release up. All that energy coming up. And then opening the arms out again. This time bring them down alongside the body. Notice our feet, notice our toes. Turn our toes outwards. Might need to bring your heels out a bit wider for a squat, so just kind of notice, or if you know your distance, what feels good. Again, we don't have to get down into that full squat. This is one of those things that we just work our way into with a real good understanding of what's gone on in your body over time. So it's coming down slow. We're all going to pause at that halfway mark, tailbone pushing back. Bring these knees out so that they're not trying to cave in. So right slightly to the outside edge of your feet. Bring the hands down. Blocks or cushions under your bum if you need them. Just find enough where you're enough with your squat. And breathe. Bring our hands down. We're going to take our feet out wider into that forward fold. Let the head drop. This time we've got the option, folding the arms, letting the head drop that way. Again, hamstring crew, bend those knees a bit. Hands come back down, heels come back in. Squat number 2. Work your way into wherever you are with it. Hands come down, heels come out. Last of these forward folds like this. So lifting out this time, if we can, we take our arms around behind our legs. Just hug them in. Be gentle. Let the head drop. Bring the hands out. We're going to walk our way into plank from wherever we are on our mat. We've got the option of a frog pose or coming up into down dog. Our knees come down. We're coming back around to seated. Team into Baddha Konasana, so soles of the feet tuck themselves
And so we can sit straight, or we can start to draw the body around. Just notice where you want to get to today with it. Find your breath. And we had a bit of a request, and so we're just going to sit in open cross-legged or a seated pose that feels really comfortable. The request was for a bit of breath work, Tam, or a bit of a kind of work into the breath. And so for those of you that are kind of curious about breath work, this is a good kind of place to start. Some of the breathwork workshops that are going on around the place are very down the very strong breathwork end, using a lot of things based on Kapalabhati, which is a pranayama technique. So the goal of breathwork, the goal of pranayama is about, it's a stage towards our meditation. Okay, so it's, and this is in the yoga teachings, and it's that because controlling the breath is considered to be really vital, especially in the higher states. Okay. Again, if we bring that to the West and we bring it to our lives, a lot of us spend a lot of time like this, like this, like this. Okay, so we're compressing at the diaphragm. So we come into a breathwork session and we feel amazing a lot of the time because we actually haven't breathed properly for a while. If you weren't breathing and getting enough oxygen, you would have long ago passed out. So some of the rhetoric is incorrect about breathwork. So what are we trying to do? And so with yoga practice, for me, the breath is about bringing our awareness into the body and into the breath, and using it as a calming technique. Okay, so that's what we're doing today. We're looking at a technique that is really good for anxiety, that is really good when we're feeling in low energy and we kind of we feel a bit muddled, we haven't got focus. Okay, and it's gentle. It can be practiced by anyone, health conditions. There's no kind of contraindications for it, which is quite rare. Okay, so the other side of the breathwork kind of stuff is that, yeah, there's a lot of health conditions where we shouldn't do breathwork. So some of you will have done Nadi Shavasana with me. Okay, so Nadi, the channels of the body, Shavasana clearing. We use our right hand. I don't reverse for this one, and that's because the left hand is considered useful for other things in Indian practice. Where we put our arm, really important, crew. So what you'll see in a lot of the videos is this. Okay, so the elbow over here, if you've got boobs. And it doesn't fit. Okay, so for me, tuck your upper arm against your chest and then bring your hand across. And then that chin tuck that we've been talking about is really important because that's what allows you, no matter what length your arm is, to find your nose. Okay, but we don't want to slump to do that, so we need that strong. So hence why we've been doing lots of chin tuck work. Okay, is to come into this. Then it's our thumb for our right nostril and our ring finger for our left. Okay, and these two fingers tuck in, or you can put them on your third eye. Some of you will find that's a little bit sensitive in terms of energy, so maybe tuck them in. Pinky, we can have like the queen with her cup of tea, or we can tuck that in. Okay, the touch of the nostril is really important. We don't want to be pushing. Okay, again, we've got this gentle focus. So we're right at the base and we're just blocking it gently. Okay, so we're going to practice with our right first. We're just going to block that right nostril and breathe out through that left, and then breathe in. And do that a couple of times. Just feel what it's like to breathe through one nostril. Okay, try the other side. So ring finger to our left nostril
Opening up that right one so there's some room. Breathe out, breathe in. Now come back to normal. Okay. This is when you find that you've got runny nose or, all those things. There's lots of different patterns we can use with the breath once we've got manual kind of work with our nostrils. We're going to keep it really simple today, but there's all sorts. Those of you that have got Light on Yoga, Iyengar's book on pranayama, he's got a book on Light on Pranayama, which is beautiful, okay, but also really intense. He does lots of patterns, okay, so we're just going to do simple. And the simple one is that we block our right nostril, we breathe in through the left, we block our left nostril, open the right, breathe out. Then we breathe in through that right nostril, we block it, and we breathe out through the left and in. So there's an exhale and an inhale, and then changing over. Okay, so basically the breath is going like this. Okay, and you're going to feel it going like that through particularly the sinuses. Now what that's doing, so this is the side that is important in terms of yoga understanding. In our yoga practice, our left and right nostril are connected to two really important nadis, energy lines in our body, that cross over at those major chakras that you hear lots about in New Age teachings that often aren't associated with yoga. That's where they came from. Very important to remember. Those two channels are considered to be solar and lunar energy. Okay, solar on the right, lunar on the left. They're about a balance of solar and lunar energies in the body. Energetically, really, really important, but also really important in terms of our yoga practice, which is trying to bring us into balance, okay, energetically. And so when we do Nadi Shavana and we get that breath going like that, when we stop for a few moments, the breath in the two nostrils is even before one side takes over. We've got one side that's dominant at different times of the day. But that evenness of breath is this beautiful space to sit in. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to do some Nadi Shavana, and then we're going to sit in that quietness and just feel into it. So again, if you start to feel a bit anxious or a bit dizzy or like having your hand here isn't so comfy, just come to normal breath or lie down into Shavasana. Okay, so just kind of make the space your own. Those of you that are resident experts and have sat through this going, I've heard all this before, feel free to change the pattern if you are working with a different pattern in your practice. Okay, so we're going to start by gently blocking. So get the arm in the right place, lift, tuck, okay. We're going to start with that right nostril blocking gently. Breathe out through the left, and then breathe in. Block that left nostril, open that right, breathe out. Breathe in. Change it over at the top of that inhale. Feel that breath moving. Crossing across the body. So we inhale on that one side, then we exhale on the other. Then we inhale, we cross it across again, we exhale. And inhale. So we're changing nostril at the top of each inhale. And we're just feeling that process, that practice. We've got our eyes closed by this point if you're feeling comfortable, or really soft gaze. Notice what might be happening with your breath. Might be lengthening out as we get more used to it. Check that your spine's nice and long, your chin's tucked down. Gently bring that focus to the crossing over. Notice if your eyes are following your breath even with your eyes closed. Can be something we start to feel. Gives a whole new meaning to looking down your nose at something. We're going to let our hand drop into our lap. We're going to keep our eyes closed and just breathe. Notice your breath. Bring that focus into the nostrils. Is the breath stronger through one side than the other? Just noticing. You don't have to think about why or what, or just breathe.
your awareness. Either stay with that meditation, turn the volume down, stay there, or if you need to come back into your day, just very slowly open your eyes, come back into the space that you're in, look around, find the colours. We're going to stretch ourselves up, we're going to inhale, take these arms up. Ooh. We're going to take our right arm back behind us, come around into a twist, looking over that right shoulder. Then we're going to inhale up, and we're going to exhale the other way, just slow. And then bringing it back to center. Take these feet out into that wide diamond and just come forward, especially when we've sat like that. If you're not used to sitting like that, that can feel quite tender afterwards. So just coming forward, let that lower back ease out. We're going to drop our head over towards our left knee. Then inhale up and exhale the other way. And then bring it back to center. Bring some energy to the heart space. Think about that connectedness. Doesn't matter where in the world we're practicing or when, it connects us. It's about that connectedness, especially in a world that can feel very disconnected. So feel yourself plugging in to where you are, down into the roots underneath you, gently honouring the roots of yoga, particularly today with that pranayama practice. Many blessings everyone. Thank you for that continuing support.